I'm Michelle Graves, your host on today's segment of The Power of Money. I'm glad to have you here. Now, at The Power of Money, we are interested in three things happening. First, we want you to get the necessary education so that you and your family can make the decisions that will impact positively on you in your financial life. The second thing is that you be empowered to prosper. I only want the best for you. And you can only get that if you have education and then the drive to make it happen. And the third thing that is so important to me is that you recognize that life is more than a journey and that you be energized so that you can begin to participate in the truly joyous experience of living. So here's to empowerment, here's to education, and here's to energy. I'm Michelle Graves, your host, Power of Money, and here we go. And here we go, and thank you for being a part of today's segment of The Power of Money. And it's been a little bit with this COVID virus, and our studios had not been open, but we are back open and we're right on track, bringing you the very best of the best in terms of information, resources, key people to empower you and your family during these incredibly challenging times. And today's show is certainly no exception. So have a seat, because I'm going to bring you a gentleman who has had a stellar athletic career and is now involved in talent scouting for scholarships, both academic and athletic, for students. His name is Coach Elbert Ellis, and he is based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and he will be my guest for the duration of this show today, and I'll be talking to him about how to get assistance for your children for academic as well as athletic scholarships. Just by way of history, he has an exhaustive and extensive profile, including being a wide receiver with the NFL, having been in education for over 25 years, and at the present time, he is actively functioning as a talent scout in the marketplace, bringing opportunity to high school children who have both athletic abilities as well as academic. So without a lot more introduction, I bring you Coach Elbert Ellis. Are we there?
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. You look just stellar, spectacular. And I have to say this for the benefit of our viewers. I want to congratulate you on your son's admittance into the University of Louisville under athletic scholarship. He's the #1 basket player. Is that basketball player in the United
#1
States?
JUCO basketball player in the country. Yes,
That
ma'am.
is unbelievable. You should be
Yes,
so
ma'am.
proud. And he's going to
I
play
am.
basketball for truly one of the baddest basketball teams in the United States, University of Louisville.
Yes, I told him he made an excellent decision. And Michelle, he has a 3.8 GPA.
Oh, so he is about his academics as well as his athletics. But then again, when you look at your history and where you came from, and let's talk about that before getting into the meat of the interview. Give me a little bit of background for the benefit of our viewers. What is your world, Coach? Give me your background.
Yes, ma'am. Born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. Started playing sports at a fairly early age, maybe 10. Did a little basketball, middle school football, just trying to find your way. Worked my way into Hillside High School. Got there, ran cross country, played basketball, and I ran track. Well, found out that track was my gift. I could run. The speed that I had, the height, I was 6'5", which is exceptional. So my coach, in his wisdom, the great Russell Evans Blunt, put me on the hurdles and taught me how to hurdle. And from my freshman year going into my sophomore year, I made it to the state my sophomore year. My junior year, I won the state championship. I also won other national championships that year. By the time I got to my senior year, not only did we win the state championship, I won the state championship individually, but I also received the honor of Gatorade Athlete of the Year. So technically,
Gatorade
I guess,
Athlete of the Year.
yeah,
My gosh. Keep going.
yes. Yeah, so after getting Gatorade Athlete of the Year, many universities were pursuing me. Stanford, Nebraska, Texas A&M, every school from the University of Maine all the way down to the Florida Gators, Tennessee, Georgetown, and I ended up going to University of Pittsburgh. I get to Pitt, 6-time All-American there. I ran on 3 USA teams, 1 gold at the World University Games. That means I was the fastest collegiate hurdler in the world out of 203 countries. The Pan Am Games from Canada all the way down through South America, I got a bronze medal. And at the World Juniors, I got 3rd place by technically 3 to 4 hundredths of a second with my teammate Steve Brown and the kid from Cuba. So we were dipping at the line. It was one of the most fun races I ever had, not getting first. But I was still on the podium. I got a bronze. But I also ran with Bad Boys International. Roger Kingdom, the 2-time Olympic champion, world record holder, my big brother, put me on his team, and we went around the country and ran all over California, Indianapolis. He's now the speed coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After that, I go into teaching. My church started a school. I've always wanted to be in some type of education. I've always loved education and learning. So I was the first male teacher there. Taught 3 subjects, history, math, and science, K through 12th grade. Had a terrible prep, 3 preps. It was incredible. But I did it. Used to ride the bus every day, going into work. One day the bus driver turns around, and we had been riding from December all the way through to April. In April, he said, "Son, you sit in that same seat. I see you read your Bible. You got your papers. What do you do?" I said, "I'm a teacher," but I said, "I'm an ex-athlete." And when I was at the Pan Am Games, some agents saw me run, and they came to my house and persuaded me to start learning how to train and catch the football. So I've been training from December, and it's now April. I said, "But I don't have money to get to the combine," which is in Indianapolis or Atlanta where they used to have it in my day. He said, "That's funny. I know somebody with the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you have any information?" I just happened to have my track bio that my big brother Roger King told me to type up the night before.
Look
I
at
typed
God.
it up and I handed it to him. I've been a national champion since I was 16. He about crashed the bus. He said, "You did all that?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did all that." And he said, "Can I have this?" I said, "Sure." The next thing I know, that was on a Monday. Tuesday, we go talk to a car dealer who played golf with Neil O'Donnell. His name's Sean Flaherty. Still my friend and one of the best agents you could ever have on the planet. Sean put me into his office and says, "El, what do you want to do?" I said, "Sean, I can run and catch. I just want to play." On Thursday, the Pittsburgh Steelers had a small tryout for about 30 guys from all over the country. Andy Kelly was the quarterback from Tennessee at that time. He just came in. Guys from Duquesne, other schools were there. I get down to run my 40, and I hear guys say, "Put on your cross trainers from Payless that you bought, $12.99. Things I've been practicing in every day." I said, "Okay, God." I put them on. He says, "Come out and run the way you did when you ran track for the Durham Striders and Hillside. So come out low and pump your arms." I'm listening to God, and I go and I take off. I run past Coach Cowher. He clicks his watch and he looks down and then he screams. He says, "Gentlemen, he's legit. He ran a 4.38. I'm jogging back to go put my warm-up pants on. And the coach at the 20-yard dash, she's looking at the watch. She's looking at me, looking at the watch. And I hear the guys behind me and the coaches say, "He just tied the world record for the 20-yard dash." And I tell the coach, I said, "Coach, stop looking at your watch. I'm that fast. It's okay." And I tied the Steeler record for the standing broad jump 10 feet 5. The next week, I was in the NFL. As the preseason went, 7 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown on Sunday Night Football. And I had not played football since the 8th grade. So that's kind of short of it.
That account just cracks me up. It does. And I'm not a football person, but I'm going to tell you That ain't nothing but God
Nothing but.
to move you that quickly into the NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers. A formidable team, by the way. Formidable. Formidable team. No joke.
Yes. I got a chance to play for Pittsburgh, New England. I'm an original Panther from the first team, the inaugural team, and the Jets. So, yeah, 4 teams.
Geez, so you know the business.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you have to, because you've been an athlete all your life.
Yes, ma'am. I have.
But you balanced it with the educational component.
Yes, ma'am. One thing about me, I would freak out if I didn't have my homework done.
Oh.
My senior year, my mom would come into my room. I would get home because we have a hard practice. My coach was very tough, but he knew what he was doing because he helped build me into who I am, him and my father, Elbert Sr. Frontal Evans Blunt, Elbert. They gave me hard work ethic, and I've kept that as long as I could throughout my life, living 51 years. And I would come home from practice, take a nap from 6 to 9. My mom come tap me, wake up. I'd eat my dinner, and I'd start doing every math problem, every chemistry problem, all my English papers. I would do that from 9 to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
Sometimes she'd come knock on the door and say, "Son, you got to go to bed." I said, "Mom, I have to go to college. Please shut my door." And she shut my door, and I go back to work. And I get up, my 4 hours worth of sleep, go to school, 8:15, go to homeroom. I take my 15-minute nap. My homegirl, Shermy Dillon, we've been going to school all our lives. She sat beside me all my life. She elbowed me, wake me up, and then I go to class. So, yeah. But I was a student now.
Glad you were young.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
a regiment that only young people could do. I'm not kidding you. To have that kind of discipline and no nonsense with regard to your life goals is simply admirable. I mean, if no one has told you this, I am telling you this. That level of discipline, I believe, is required for success. Get it done, no matter what. Get it done. But I can scarcely say, with the running and all the athletic requirements, then to come home, get 3 hours of sleep, and then crank it till the next day. Ooh-wee. Kudos to you. You get it all. You get it all. So let's fast forward. So you do your NFL thing, then you come out of the NFL.
Yes.
And you go back into education.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I go back to teaching. I actually started 2 schools in my teaching career. One was the Monte Christian Academy in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
The other one was Carter Community School, which is here, and they're both still flourishing to this day. Ended up being a teacher at Jordan High School in Durham, North Carolina. Left there, went to Carter. But then after that, I went to Kestrel Heights School, and I was there 20 years. I created the PE program that they had. They didn't have a permanent PE teacher. They had 3 teachers rotating. I visited the school one day, saw some things I didn't like. I was going to actually visit and check up on the kids from my church.
Okay.
And the guy saw me and was like, "Who is this guy? Just came in the classroom and made so-and-so behave," because he was a cut-up kid. And when he saw me come through the door, he sat down and started doing his work.
I know.
So I got hired that day because of that. It was hilarious. So I created the PE program. Yeah, and I ended up coaching basketball and track and field, and I was the strength conditioning coach for all the teams there.
Okay.
And yes.
That's what a life you've lived, Coach Ellis.
Yes.
What a life you have lived. I will tell you, I have not had the privilege of interviewing an athlete who is also an educator, because I believe that the discipline that you gathered as an athlete is so necessary in the classroom today.
Yes.
It takes hard work and discipline to achieve. Wouldn't you agree?
Totally. You can't have one without the other. The one thing that I would push to, I knew I was a track and field All-American, so that means my athletic ability was up here.
Right.
But if I didn't try to bring my academics as close to, I wanted to be a genius.
Okay.
Could just couldn't. But the work I was trying to say, if I don't get it there, I haven't done anything. Anybody can run, jump, supposedly. Some people do it better than others, but if I don't have that academic base that goes with that, nothing. Your brain is going to take you the rest of the way. Your body can only take you so far.
Oh my goodness, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I think a lot of young people today may have a different perspective.
True.
And that is that they see athletes as, and athletes and rappers as the goal. And without an understanding that there's so few that achieve those heights. So if you don't have the athletic ability and you're marginal on the academic side, then what does your future look like?
It looks pretty bleak. I was a sociologist in college, so I did a lot of social stats with demographics and
Yes.
different numbers of things. And I would tell the kids, I said, I happen to be a person that played a game that only 1% technically of all the people who play that game in the world. I don't care if you're in Germany, France, whatever, I'm in that 1%. Everybody's not going to get a chance to do that. I would tell the kids, I said, you have a better chance of getting a double doctorate or a doctorate than going to the NFL, NBA, the Pro Soccer League in London, which I love so much, the Barclays and the
Yes.
Premier League. You know, you have a better chance of doing those things than becoming a pro athlete. Nothing wrong with that. That's nice. But there are too many other things, and God gives you way too many other skills to just do one thing or to focus on that one thing. There's something else you have to be able to do to offer the world something to achieve financial stability and make a how do I say, make a cut in the rug for yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I understand your philosophy with regard, I believe, with regard
Yes.
to blending the athletic abilities and prowess with the academic achievements. And certainly you have proven that to be the case. So how did you translate that passion and success that you had into where you are today in the arena of helping young people to get assistance, both athletic as well as academic? Tell me more about that.
Pretty much everything that you do is a building block for something else. So while I was running track, a lot of people don't know that the national championship happens every year in track and field. It happens indoors and outdoors, and it's only in certain states that they do it because the temperature needs to be right, that type of thing. But one particular year, they chose to have it in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, at Duke University. And while I'm there, and the announcers will treat me like I'm a homeboy because I technically am, I bump into this guy named Mark Everett. My buddy Lee McCray, he was my roommate, two-time Olympic champion, world record holder, 55-meter dash, went to Pitt. He brings Mark over to his godmother. So his godmother, my godmother were sisters.
Okay.
Brenda Armstrong and Brenda Armstrong and Beverly Norman.
Okay.
They're sisters. Brilliant women. We would go to their house. She would help out with our team. She was actually our team doctor and our coach. So she would help out with the Durham Strides and Hillside. So all the kids would, if we had big meets or whatever during the week, especially the summertime, we go over her house. We eat the pasta. We're talking, watching track and field videos, all those good things, and having a good time, and then go compete. So we're doing what we normally do, and Mark comes over, and Mark and I sit down and we start talking, and we hit it off like we've been knowing each other all our lives. We talk for like 90 minutes nonstop. And then, of course, Mark is one of those guys, he believes in getting his rest, and so do I. Mark ended up being a 3-time Olympian. Mark says, Elbert, I got to go, man. These guys are trying to get me tomorrow. I said, me too, man. Listen, I'm going to bed. I'll talk to you later. So he goes run the meet. He wins, runs one of the fastest times in the world. I get fourth. I do pretty well, but we stayed in contact throughout that because, of course, Facebook came around. He's been my Facebook friend ever since it started. So one particular day I'm on Facebook looking, and Mark's on there doing a video blurb. He's like, hey, if you have a student athlete and you would like them to be recruited, and if you're interested in being a scout, inbox me. I go, huh? Well, I've been wanting to be a scout for years. I've been filling out to be a scout with all these different universities and other
Mm-hmm,
places. I
mm-hmm.
have people behind the scenes that I know that work in universities and sometimes even and actually in the NFL and other places that I've been trying to get in. But everybody loves those scouting jobs because they get to travel. You got the
Oh
games,
yeah, the
the film.
bennies, the
So you
benefits.
you, you
Yeah.
love the scouting. So
Mm-hmm,
that's very
mm-hmm.
hard to get into. But no one would hire me. So I inbox Mark and I call him and we start talking. He tells me what I'm about to tell you, and I say that's the most awesome thing I've ever heard. I said, how do I get down? He said, you're
Mm.
hired. I said, excuse me? He said, you are hired. I'm going to teach you how we do it in prime time, why we're the best at it, and how we help these kids receive academic and athletic scholarships. And I've been doing that since 2018.
Since 2018, you have been with Prime Time as an athletic and academic coach,
Yes, ma'am.
scout. Mm-hmm. And
Mm-hmm.
how,
Coach.
and
Yeah.
coach and scout. So with that, and Mark has been functioning, I guess, as your mentor, your, I mean, it's his brainchild, but he has brought you into his world to teach you how it's done right. Is that a fair assessment?
That is the pure, fairest assessment you can
Okay.
say out of your mouth. That's absolutely
Thank
right.
you. I just wanted, because that's highly unusual. But then you've had a highly unusual life. I mean, from a bus driver to the NFL to all the, I mean, your life is not exactly standard, I would say. You're not the average person on the street.
But no, ma'am, I'm not. I
I
don't think
mean,
we
six
all, none of
five.
us are really average.
I
We're
mean,
all,
no,
that's why there's a
six
different
five is
fingerprint. Yeah.
definitely not average, but with all the other things as well, that's amazing. So you got tied in with Mark and his company, and tell me how that experience has been and what you all do.
Well, it's been purely wonderful, and it's a lot of hard work. People don't really understand how hard and difficult scouting really is. So pretty much what we do. Many years ago, Mark was a Division III coach at a small school,
Okay.
track and field. And so Mark takes the job and he's coaching the kids and he goes to like his first meet. And we're used to, for people who don't know track and field, you have 16 full scholarships and then you got the coach giving kids little bits and pieces, half full books, anything, or they're just trying to walk on to earn money. Well, Mark went to University of Florida, SEC school, big money school football. So they had 34 scholarships. Okay.
Mm,
I went to Pitt. Pitt had 16 full scholarships. I was one of the 16, but we had 40 kids on the team. So we had
okay.
large teams. So Mark's looking around, and the teams, they have 5 kids, 7 kids. The big team had 10. So Mark goes over to the coaches and say, coaches, what's going on? Why are your teams so small? He says, Coach, uh, we don't have a recruiting budget. He said we have
Oh
plenty of money,
my.
but we can't find the kids. We do the robocalls, we send out flyers in the mail, but we have nothing but money and we can't find the kids.
So
So
they have
Mark
the
being
money.
yes,
Coach, am I hearing you right?
they
These,
have
they have the
plenty of
money, but they
nothing
don't
but money to give
have
away,
the
and they couldn't
marketing.
find the kids.
Oh
So
man, oh
Mark,
man.
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, so Mark came up with primetime scouting to help these universities, but also more importantly to help these kids. A lot of kids always think because we see certain things on TV, like we see, if I'm because I'm from North Carolina, and if I ever hear da 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 da, I know that's Carolina. So
Okay.
you see that on TV all the time, so you think, oh, that's where I'm going to go. That might not be the case. There are so many different schools out here that are just hungry for kids to come, and they have money to offer them to come, and they will give them the red carpet treatment, and they have no idea at all.
Mm.
So a lot of kids they go under recruited, like my son per se. He wasn't highly recruited at all, but someone found him. That's what we do for kids. We're looking for those who are looking for us, those who need help getting to college, so they don't have to deal with those student loans and all that other garbage. We vet the coaches, we vet the school, and we find the right fit for the kid. The other thing that we also do, Michelle, um, we're the only company in the world that has a money back guarantee because we are a paid service. That if we did not find a scholarship for a student or student athlete, We refund the parents their money back 100%, no questions asked. And we never take anybody we can't find a scholarship for.
So how do you make, this is fascinating. I mean, this is a situation where supply exceeds demand. It's classic
Yes.
economics. You've got a supply, which are these schools. They're not necessarily your, what is your top rated, Division One schools? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying? They're not Division One schools in most cases, although you did say some of them are. But
Yes.
they have the money to meet the needs of the student for academic and athletic assistance, correct?
Correct, Michelle. We deal
Ah,
with Division Three, Division Two. There are some D1s, NAIA, JUCO, HBCUs, and prep schools from here to Hawaii and Alaska.
my
So from
words.
yeah.
And all
hmm
because they don't have a marketing budget and therefore they cannot compete. So
Well,
you
that's the
are
funny thing.
actually
Yeah,
their eyes and
yes.
ears. Are you their eyes and ears?
We are their eyes and ears.
Yeah.
We definitely are their eyes and ears. And the thing's even funnier, Michelle, the ones who do have scouts, we're their eyes and ears as well.
Wow.
Because they don't, yeah, they miss people as well. hmm
So, what are the criteria for a young person coming into your fold as a recruit?
What usually what gets you technically, if we talk athletics, let's just say they're a superstar athlete. Oh my God, they can do all the things they're the coach's dream, and the grades might be a little so-so. We can work with that. But the kid who is the academic prowess of Einstein and George Washington Carver, and they're just a so-so athlete, that's a great fit as well. Is when the kid is just in the middle, they're just like that average thing. That's a little harder. Not saying it can't happen, but yeah, but we can do that. But we also, and a lot of people don't know, the academic scholarships far outweigh the athletic scholarship, meaning they can be 110, 120, 130%. Let's just say, for instance, Campbell University around here. Campbell's a private Baptist school here in Livingston, North Carolina. People don't know anything about it. $41,000 a year school. I've been to the campus myself. We vet the school and make sure it's the right fit. We usually vet the coaches as well, make sure it's the right fit. So we vetted this school. I've been there, walked around. The campus is immaculate. I've never seen anything like that in my life, and I've been to quite a few schools. Everything was brand new. They just put a brand new Mondo $2 million track down, all the computers, everything was incredible. Let's just say we negotiate an academic scholarship for a student. And we say, okay, because the ACT score was good, ACT, SAT was good, GPA was very, very good. The school was excited and say, okay, we're going to give them 130%. Now, that 100% is $41,000. That's room, board, books, everything paid off, room keys, nothing. Meal plan, all that good stuff. But now, we have 30% left. That's $16,000. That hits the student account day one when the semester starts. And if you're a student athlete, you got 5 years to do 4. So the academic
That is,
scholarship and other grants as well.
I just, that's unbelievable.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
I mean, uh, that is so, every time you say, I just think that people, which is why I have you on, because I want my viewers to be empowered to know that this is available and that they can benefit. Now, what makes your group, Mark's brainchild, different from other scouting companies? Because I can imagine they're all spouting the same stuff.
Well, this what makes us different, and there's quite a few things. And I'll try to keep it as short as I
Okay.
can. One thing a lot of other companies do, they will send a bunch of emails out. So we're going to send 1,000 emails out to all these coaches. Michelle, viewers, coaches don't read emails.
I
And
know
people
they
don't know
don't.
that. Coaches do not read emails.
I
But guess
know they
what?
don't.
They read ours. We are
Okay.
relentless with what we do. There's nothing like having an Olympian, and there are other Olympians and other pro athletes. I'm not allowed to say their name because they want to be protected and covert behind the scenes. They really love the program. But Mark, it's nothing like having someone who does not understand failure. Olympians and other pro athletes, they don't understand failure, so they have to get the job done. So we have relationship with these people the same way I'm talking to you. Before I get off this phone with you guys today, this TV show, and the other scouts and Mark included, we're all individually going to talk to 30 schools or more for our students and student athletes just today by ourselves. So you have that happening, and you got more than one person working for you. There's a scout working for you that you'll never see, but they're looking at this school for you, talking to this person behind the scenes. This person might have been an Olympian at some school, and they say, okay, look, we got a kid in our program. I think he did, and boom, then you're in. So that's what's different. And also, we're the cheapest out of all the scouting programs. The other ones, they may charge you this a month, this a month, this a month, this a month. We don't do that. We can do a monthly fee, or we can do a flat fee. And we can talk about that. Anybody wants to call when we get to that section. But we're the cheapest, and we have a money back guarantee that if we do not accrue a scholarship, academic, athletic scholarship for a student athlete, you get everything back. Those are the reasons why we're different.
Well, I'm going to say the money back guarantee is powerful because with student loans, you do not have a money back anything. When a parent enrolls their child into a college and the child has been all the above, but nobody knew about this as a viable option, they wind up in spending money, signing documents, and going into significant debt when the child may not even fit in that situation. Have you heard of those kind of accounts?
Michelle, one of my coworkers, he was a music teacher at the school I was at.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. I'm big into the arts. I did African dance professionally for 7 years as well. So I'm into arts and music. So I would drive the bus for his people to go compete, the orchestras. So we're talking, and I told him about the program. He's like, "Where were you?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I went to I went to HBCU. He actually went to North Carolina Central where my wife went." And he said, "I have $23,000 in undergraduate loans and $32,000 in graduate loans. I'm a school teacher." He said, "How am I pay that back on this salary?" He said, "How?" He said, "Where were you guys?" He said, his home girls, she had an academic scholarship to Central. He said every year at the beginning of the year when the school started, she was like, "Come on, we're going to lunch." She said, What are you talking about?" She would have $23,000 hit her account every year at the beginning of the year for academic money. And he didn't know anything about it, and a lot of people don't know anything about it. So yeah.
Give me your phone number.
My phone number is area code 678-749-5387. Again, that's area code 678-749-5387.
What you have shared with me, and we've got an hour, and that's a lot I want to ask you about. It seems like a long time, but it's not. So what is your ideal student profile?
Ideal student profile?
Yeah.
Pretty much a kid who's hard worker.
Okay.
They're giving it all academically. They're getting involved in the community, hopefully in the church, whatever. They're respectful to the parents. You know, they're doing the right things for success. They're trying to set themselves up for down the road, and they're hungry and they're willing to work. We just need someone who's looking for us. If you're looking for us to help you, those are the students we're looking for. Mm-hmm. And we've had some very, very hard cases. People don't know that. You think that you can't get in and we can't get you in. Sometimes it may not be immediate, but it might be down the road. It might be a month or two down the road, and next thing you know, bam. But we had a kid, he got injured. And Mark, being the wise guy that is, his son, Mom and Dad, y'all just listen. Why don't we just train, have him sit out? I know he just graduated, but let's let him train, get healed all the way up, and we'll get him. So he was in a program last year. It had been a full year. I get on the phone, I find the school, the coaches look at the video, they go, "Oh my God, where has this kid been all our lives?" And bam, he got in. The coaches
Oh, wow.
gave him a ride. He's
Hmm.
good to go. And the mom and dad are like, "Coach, we don't even know what to say. We were gonna try to make him go and just go try to walk on." And sometimes you have to wait. We're not patient.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you have to be working and waiting at the same time. That's a terrible, you know.
So,
But working and waiting at the same time. So if the kid has work ethic, they're focused, and the mom and dad are willing to listen and do everything we tell them, we're going to have success for you.
so what, and that's an awesome story you've just given me about how he had an injury and you had him to get better
Yes.
rather than go in debt.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
what is it? What is the most frequent frustration that you hear from parents? Because I've raised mine. They're done. I mean, all the above. They're done. But I surely wish I'd known about this for so many of the other people I know in my family that had athletic abilities, because it just seemed like it was just a shadowy world, like, here we do. How does that get worked out? I mean, you reach out to the coaches, but how do you reach out to students? How do they know that you exist?
Well, we do go around and we talk to people. I mean,
Okay.
we it's personal. We're that mom and pop store. You remember they're on the corner, and they've been there for all those years. They know everybody's kids. So we're that type of group. We
Okay.
get involved deep into the families. We care about the kid. We never let them go through the entire process. A lot of other companies, they just get them in. If they do something for them, fine. If they don't, fine. They've made their money. We don't give a rat's about that. We care about the individual, that kid becoming something special, doing something special, not being in debt, and getting the love they need, support they need. How
Hmm.
many times do we not know things or get the support we need for certain things, and we wasted money and time? The last thing we need to do is waste money and time, because you don't have a lot of those. You only have
No,
so
you
many
don't.
years on this life. So-called promise maybe 70. We want to live a little longer, but
Hmm.
we really care about our kids. We put time into that and making sure that they're okay and that their families are okay.
That is, that's powerful. It just simply is. So, can you talk about the child that is younger than high school? What should parents begin doing now with these children to prepare them for that type of a future? How do you know if a child has athletic abilities?
You find a local program and you put them in. You ask them what are they interested in, and you let them try. If I had never tried hurdling, I would have never known I was a hurdler. You have to just get out there and do it. It's like being a teacher. One thing I would always tell the students, I said, kids, it's the most underpaid, underrespected job in the world.
That's a shame.
Teachers create the planet.
They
I
do.
don't care who you
They
are.
do.
I've watched it on TV for years. I see the NFL guys and they say, "Who's your favorite teacher?" They'll go back and find their third grade teacher, go give them a check. The NFL sponsored the whole thing to do it every year.
Mm.
Basketball, I had one of my favorite teachers. I had a couple because there were just so many times in my life I needed that teacher to say that thing and do that thing for me. So that is way too important to have that type of support. And for young people, the earlier you get them in something, a program like this, the more they read and read and read and read out loud and practice speaking properly. Good posture, being respectful. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. Those things go a long way. As my pastor Al Morgan says, you're being interviewed all the time. And I would tell my
Yes, you
students that all
are.
the time. You're being interviewed all the time. Someone is always watching you, and you have to be prepared. You never know when the opportunity is going to come. And
I
the one
mean,
thing that's
it
powerful about
happened to
prime time,
you. I mean,
yeah,
it
yes,
did. But if a person, if parents haven't prepared their young people, their children, for the reality of the world and the workplace, and even the world of athletics, the child could wind up very, very shortchanged and disappointed, wouldn't you say?
Quite,
Mm,
quite.
yeah.
I know a lot of parents of, and I think we've made this mistake that everybody's going pro. Everybody's doing this. One of my favorite commercials I see on TV, the NCAA, if I dare say, does right. They'll say, "Hey, everybody's going pro in something." That does not mean there's the NFL. There are some people who are professional doctors out here.
Uh,
There's some people who are professional street pavers out here. I cannot do that job.
right.
I cannot put a roof on. There's some people I want to pay them to do it because they know what they're doing.
Hmm.
So whatever that skill is, you can be a pro at it. It doesn't mean the NFL. It doesn't mean hockey, baseball, tennis. There are too many other things that a kid can do. And what we love about our program as well, you can get in our program in grade school, middle
You
school,
start
but
them
especially
in
high school.
grade school.
Great.
What's the
Yes,
youngest age they
yes,
can start developing?
yes, ma'am.
I
We
mean,
start
what
in
is
grade school.
third grade, fourth grade?
Third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, grade school. We've had grandparents hear about the program, what we do. They understand that putting the time into it for later on is important. They say, no, we want our kid in it now. So when it's time for them to get a scholarship, it's there, and So they go ahead and put the grandkids in.
That, for those of you that are viewing and have grandchildren, and certainly I do, um, this is a great investment, it seems to me, because they're not going to go back in time. They are only going to go forward. And if they can be coached, how does that work, Coach Ellis? How do you mentor a kid?
Well, the one thing we always do, and my student athletes and students, their parents, they hear from me. If it's not every day, it's every other day.
Gee.
So mentoring them on everything from diet to social skills, what you shouldn't have on your social media, what things what coaches are looking at, what universities are looking at. I had a university the other day. It was incredible. Yesterday, I just happened to call at the right time because you only have small windows to work a lot of times. So you got to work fast and hard. So I called the lady behind administrations at a wonderful HBCU down south, deep down south. And she says, "No what, sir, you called at the right time. The kids you sent, they're looking good. Well, we just need you to do it this way, and then we'll be able to open the gate to get them seen for academic and athletic scholarships. So tell them to fill this out, and we'll go from there." And I'm like, "Oh wow, that is awesome."
Wow.
So mentoring them to move at the right time, when to do this, when not to do that, that is so important. Just like parenting. If the baby goes over and they touch the hot stove, you're gonna get burned.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes.
Same thing. And hopefully they don't go over there and get burned again.
So
And one thing is powerful. If yes, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that your organization does that as well, correct? The mentoring
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
younger people.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I will
We
tell
mentor
you,
them.
I have my grandson who is 6, and he is going to be 6'5". he, he, he is big, and he is very, very smart. And
Intelligent.
really, he presses
No, I heard him
me.
talking last time. He's intelligent.
Oh,
Yes.
he's very, but at 6, I said, man, if I don't snatch him early, it's no telling, because when they're young, they're moldable. They listen. They know if you care. So is this, I'm just interested in that. I'll have to talk to you about that myself, because I'm going to do this. I got
Yes,
to.
ma'am.
Else he's going,
Yes.
he's going to be too big. He loves football, and I told him, nope, you're not doing football. I don't like football, but you can do lots of other things. You can hit. So tomorrow we're playing tennis.
my goodness.
I'm taking him to play tennis at tomorrow morning. We're both going to hit balls, and for him to run, just run, because when they're little, they run a lot. They run more than us.
Yes, they do.
Oh
Yes,
my
they do.
goodness gracious, Elbert, they run a lot more than us.
Yes, there's a lot of energy to burn those little
They
people. I
got
miss that energy. I miss
is
having
that
that.
what that is? That's all energy.
That's all energy. Little,
Oh,
little boy just pure testosterone all the time. He's
oh
wide
my
open. He
God.
can't help it.
Oh my, I was like, would you stop running everywhere? Zoom, zoom, zoom. But
Mm.
again, if you all are offering that type of service as a part of that loop, I think that's important for parents to know. I really do.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any, I know that we talk about placement upon graduation from high school. And I guess, what's the earliest time that a parent should really begin to look at how this works? And when should they
Uh,
engage with you?
right now,
Right now.
e- immediately. Do
Immediately.
not wait. You
Do
need to
not
know
wait.
what you need to know now. It's nothing worse than, say, for instance, there's $1 million. In fact, let's go bigger. $10 million buried 50 feet away from your house,
Okay.
and you don't know it's there. You walk over it every day. You walk past it every day. But there's a little flag out there sticking in the ground, and you don't see it. And you don't go over to find out what it is. So
Okay.
many people do that with us. Right now is the time to find out what your student and student athlete needs to know to get a scholarship. Right now is the time, not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now. Right now.
Geez. And you service universities all over the United States, correct?
All over the United States, we do all sports except cheerleading. That's the only thing we don't do. But all
Okay.
sports except cheerleading, all academic and merit-based scholarships. And we
So if it's
also, Michelle, because
okay.
sometimes things go awry, like real life, you
Yeah.
get a flat tire. Okay, your engine goes bad. The light bulb bust goes out when you flick the switch. Sometimes people don't vet the school and vet the coaches. Sometimes they try to, and they go to the wrong school. And it
Oh,
ends up not being a good fit. I hear coaches say all the time, this kid's a good fit. They're not a good fit. Good fit, good fit. Sometimes it's not a good fit. We had a kid, and we all negotiating scholarships, finding one. He was the fastest 800 meter in the country last
whoa.
year. He ran 149, 150 and 800. Blazing kid, best kid in the country in prime time. So this young man, we negotiate and get the scholarships before him. We say, okay, son, where you want to go? Mark says, where do you want to go? He says, Coach Everett, I want to go to this SEC school right here. Mark's eyes get large. He looks down because Mark knows about the SEC. It's the toughest conference in the country. They are
Really?
dog eat dog. That Kentucky, there's nothing like the SEC. Got to be honest. I saw it for years in sports. It was football, but you got to go through them to get through to something. It's just the way it is.
Uh,
So the kid says, I want to go there. Mark says, no, son, we can't tell you where to go. We can only put the best options before you, but you have to choose. But if you go to this school, you're going to get dead last every race. He said, no, coach, I can handle it. I'm good. I'm good. All of a sudden, we're tracking our kids because remember I said we never let our kids go.
right,
We're
right.
following them, looking at his races, his grades and everything. All of a sudden, we're watching him. He's getting taken out to the woodshed, dead last, just like Mark told him. Mark picks the phone up and said, son, are you ready to listen now? He said, yeah, coach, I'm ready to listen. Mark gets on the phone again, calls with his other Olympian buddies at a smaller school, better fit, down in another school, and says, hey, we have a kid with a 3.5 GPA and runs 149, 150, and 800. Do you want him? The coach says, do I want him? Coach, I'm going to give him 100% the scholarship to transfer right now. Now
Whoa.
the kid is transferred. He's winning again, and he's going to get his degree and enjoy himself.
This this is awesome. This is awesome. But he made a decision and you did not try to steer him otherwise.
No,
Did
no.
not.
We'll try to give you the best advice, but everybody chooses.
Okay.
Usually we'll say, but if the parents listen to us, the kid listen to us, we find the right fit for you.
Okay.
But if something does go wrong, we already have more than one school that wants you. We're going to get you out of there and get you someplace where you can function and do the things you need to do to attain that degree and keep as much money in your pocket as possible.
And that's the plan. To keep as much money in your pocket as possible in case you are not able to make it in the big leagues, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
At least
We
you
just
will
have a
come
student
out.
athlete. She just went off to a school. She's going to get her years paid for. Once she is done, she's going to walk out with a job, um, estimating about between $80,000 to $85,000 guaranteed. They already told her.
That's what makes me excited, and that's why I have so enjoyed this time with you today. I mean this, Elbert. Give the number again, would you please, because our time is just about up.
I love to. Phone number again is area code 678 749 5387. 678 749 5387.
I just want to say to you, am I impressed? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And there's hope for my 6-year-old Thunderbolt grandson. His future looks incredibly bright. And I can't tell you, because I didn't know either. I was thinking traditional, which is we got to fund this thing through either life insurance, cash value, or savings, or student tuition support. We're going to have to cash out. And now that I understand how your world works and how this program works, I think that it's an extremely powerful option for parents who have children that are dual gifted, meaning they can get their academics together as well as their athletes. I think all students need to be athletes. That I will say, because there's a level of discipline that comes from that type of training. It's unbelievable what you can learn in that type of field. So I commend you for what you're doing. I think that you're an incredible man. I've said that before. I'll say it again. And I thank you so much for being a part of the Power of Money with Michelle Graves today. I bless you. I ask God to keep you and to continue to let you know that what you're doing is transforming lives, one child at a time. Thank you so much, Coach Ellis. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.